Right, so planks and bridges are other great stabilization exercises for the lumbar area in particular. You can do different variations on those to make them more or less challenging. So I'll kind of show you the basic bridge, basic plank, and then some things that you can do to make it a little bit more challenging. On both of these exercises, you still want to pay attention to that neutral spine position. With planks, you generally aren't going to see a ton of variation. People aren't, because the idea is trying to stay really rigid like a board. But on bridges, because you're lifting your hips up, the potential's there to let that lumbar spine position change a lot. So you want to only go as high as the patient can go while maintaining that proper little lumbar lordosis that you're after. So we'll look at the bridge first. Basically, you can start out this way. If you want to make it easier and make your upper body more stable, you can widen your stance if you want to make with your arms. If you want to make it a little bit harder, then you can bring the arms into your body so they're not able to push on the ground. But typically you'll just start with the arms by the sides. Again, find that neutral pelvic position so you've got that lumbar spine where you want it. Have the patient bridge up, but only going so high that they don't lose that curvature. If I shove my hips all the way up, I'm going into tons of hyperextension in the back, in the low back. So I don't necessarily want that. So you're just lifting up. To make it more challenging, you can work on kind of those progressions that we looked at with the last set of exercises. You can do a march. You can work on kind of more like your heel slide, or you can do more your kind of straight leg position too with that. So you've got your different options there. Again, if I bring my arms in on my chest or something like that, narrow that stance down. You can try and bring the leg up higher. You can try bringing the leg side to side a little bit. And again, that's going to make it a whole lot harder to keep things steady as far as the transverse plane is concerned. But those are kind of most of the common bridge variations that you're going to see. A two-legged, a one-legged, or some type of marching type motion, or like I say, more of a heel slide type movement, or more of your straight leg. With the plank, your easiest way to kind of do a some people will consider this a plank, kind of the top of the push-up position, but usually you're talking about coming down where you're more on this position, prone on your elbows. Again, you can see I've got some lordosis in my low back. I don't want to sag. I don't want to stick my butt up in the air. I want to kind of keep that kind of neutral and think about making a straight line with my body. So we can just hold it there statically, or you can kind of think about some of the variations that we did with the quadruped position. Picking up one arm, I don't really have enough room here, picking up one leg, things like that can be options. Again, you can bring the leg out to the side while you're doing it to make it a little bit harder. Bring the arm out to the side, and then you can also go into your side planks. So your side plank, just positioning yourself kind of like this. Again, you can do an exercise called a hip dip from here, where you let the hips drop and come up. But that's not stabilization. If we're after stabilization, we're trying to keep that line really straight through here, hold that position really steady, and to make things a little more challenging and harder, pick up the top leg, move it forward, move it back, move it higher. Sometimes people will come up onto one hand and try and do the variation from there. A lot more challenging.